Mora v'kedushas beis haknesses. This is an important topic because it's Baruch Hashem. We find ourselves in shul very often, and sometimes we're a little bit lackadaisical in terms of our behavior in shul. We're not talking about during davening, right? So I want to make a distinction. This is treating a makom tefillah. Rav Soloveitchik, I will start with this. Rav Soloveitchik was adamant. He would not officiate. He would not be Masar Kiddushin if the wedding was in a shul, meaning taking place in the sanctuary, right? This is a well-known argument that goes back hundreds of years. I don't even know if it's mentioned in here at all, but just a bit of introduction. One is that because, what do you mean getting married in a shul is actually a Christian custom, because that's what the non-Jews do. They get married in a church. So Jews get married outside. Jews get married in hallways. Jews don't get married in shuls. Rav Soloveitchik felt that this has nothing to do with the debate with the Reform movement, who wanted to switch over having weddings into shuls because it was like Christianity. But rather, the Rav felt that it was simply a violation of Kedusha Beis HaKnesses. The Beis HaKnesses, a shul, is for davening and learning Torah. That's it. Not even a wedding, and not even a rally, not even a ceremony. We don't do things in shuls. They're for other places. It is not the predominant custom we have in North America today. And the question is, what's the reason for it? How we can get around it? Should we get around it? Is it leniency? So those are the kinds of issues that we're going to talk about a little bit. And of course, the primary is what's the source for the Kedusha of a shul, right? We're even going to see there's a havmina to even think that it's perhaps a biblical, a deraisa obligation. Okay, so with that, let's plunge right into it. We'll just start with the first few key sources. So number one, says the Gemara, Rabbi Yehuda, Beit HaKnesset shecharav ein maspidin betocho. So a shul that's destroyed, no aspedim allowed. Ve'ein mafshilin betocho chavalim. You can't put out. You can't use it as your factory. You can't use it as a warehouse, right? So if you have your chavalim, if you have your ropes and stuff, it can't be placed there. Ve'ein portion letocho mitzudos. You couldn't put nets in there. Let's say you want to. If you had a ruin. In the olden days, so there'd be animals that would live in these ruins. So you'd want to set up traps to trap the animals, right? No, you're not allowed to. In shochtin go pira, you can't. Sorry, sochtin go pira. You can't even use the roof of a shul that's not even functioning anymore as a shul for your for fruits, right? V'inostinoto kapundra. You can't even use it as a shortcut, right? Shenamar Hashemoti et Mikdashchem Kedushatan af b'shein shomamim. There's kedusha even when they are destroyed. Wow.
What does the pasuk literally mean? Hashemoti.
I will destroy Hashemoti. I will destroy my sanctuaries. They're even called sanctuaries, even they're in the state of destruction. By the way, what's interesting. And by the way, this was a very practical thing. There's a few famous cases in Toronto, but the truth is this was very common in North America. Jewish communities moved. Let's say the Toronto Jewish community used to be downtown. Who is the most likely new tenant to purchase a shul? It was a church. So the Jewish community that used to be downtown, it's Spadina, right? So the shuls went north. So who's going to buy the shul? Right? So you have a builder put up a condominium, but it's already, chances are, first of all, it's zoned probably for religious purposes. It has the zoning. It probably has the right size parking lot. It probably, you know what I mean? It'd be very useful for another place of worship. So this was a major issue when shuls. By the way, this happens across North America. This happened across the world. Whereas Jewish communities would move. What are you going to do this? Who are you going to sell it to? How do you even sell a shul? It's very complicated in terms of how to kind of deal with these issues. Camps have a challenge with this too, by the way, because camps often use a shul as a multi-purpose room, maybe for plays. How can you do it in a shul? Okay, so that's going to be that we have to see. That can be built as a multi-purpose room. That'd be interesting. And by the way, what happens if it changes? Right? Sometimes in Mosheva they use it as a shul, and then they build a new shul. So what do the old shul? Right? That's right. So all these questions come up fairly regularly. Aluba sabim lo yitlosh. What about if you have, let's say, grass started to grow in there? You're not allowed to pluck it. Mipnei agmat nefesh, because it's so disturbing. Says the Gemara Tanrabanan, but the knesiot ein ohagin b'hem kalud rosh. You cannot in a shul act in a lightheadedness. Whatever. Ein ochlin. You can't eat there. Vein shotin. Right? As I drink my coffee. Okay. Says Rashi. Ein ochlin b'hem. V'lokar sinan vein ochlin b'hem. No. That's the wrong lashon, says Rashi. Not true. The kulan perusha the kalut rush. No. It's you're not allowed to do kalut rush. And what could be an example of kalut rush? Eating and drinking. Meaning it's not part of the actual braita itself, says Rashi. Meaning it's not that there's an isser of eating and drinking. It's that what could be an example of merriment could be eating and drinking. Meaning not all eating and drinking is the same. Okay? The shon kalut shelter, but if it's kalut eating and drinking, that's problematic. Okay? So.
Yeah, battery's running out.
Are we? Oh, wait, yeah, I forgot to recharge it. Okay, we'll see if we can squeeze it in. Medivra habraita mashma sheyesho mora mikdash. There's this concept of fear of a mikdash. Shemshoto lo lanhagu kalut rosh b'dekneser b'dei midrashat. Harishonim nichleku. What is the source of this mora? Is it deraita? Is it rabbana? Is there an asmachta? Take a look at the different opinions. Says the Yereim, this is unbelievable. Ukshem she'asur lehanot mina hekdesh, kach asur lehanot mi bate knesiot u'metim midrashot. Shenit yachadu l'tfila l'drasha shegam zeh hekdesh. Wow! If a shul is designated for divrei Torah, for learning, for davening, for drashot, you cannot, and it's considered hekdesh, and therefore there's me'ilah on a biblical level. Wow. As it quotes the Braita, and that's the Braita that was quoted above in source number 1.
Is a shul restricted? Like, in other words, when these stuff were being written, the shul was usually just one big room. Saying if
right. You also have to remember that they didn't have, like we have today, right? Where like a building like this, where there's 37 rooms.
One room's a shul, another one's like a wedding hall.
Right. So we're talking about a shul. We're talking about the shul room. It's called the sanctuary. So, right, has to be right. So there's no, here's another issue: is that what is, if a room is used once for davening, does that mean it's miyachid tefillah? Because that means a lot of people's houses are miyachid tefillah, right? So it can't be that. This is a shul. This is a room. This room is a room made for davening. There's no question. That's the way it's set up. On the other hand, there's a partition back here, which on most days the room behind this partition sure doesn't look like a shul to me. It looks like a social hall. However, on Shabbos or on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, all of a sudden it transforms into an extension or another shul, right? So that's an interesting category. The Simcha Suite. What?
The opposite. Some Simchas, they use this part for...
Well, they used to have, when I got married, there was no Simcha Suite. That was actually the shul office. The office used to be over there. Those of you that remember. So this, when you had a Chassid's Tish, it was always in here. Up until the Simcha Suite was only built 7 years ago? I don't think it's been 10 years, right? You remember yeah, it hasn't been that long, right? Where we stopped using this as the Chassid's Tish room. I mean, it's a much bigger room, right? So, right. You can actually
still have sometimes.
Yeah, if it's bigger, they will do it in here. Like when your brother got married, they set up both rooms. But that was more because of like a reception. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's the Yereim. That's pretty incredible. And he goes on and he continues the quoting of the Braita. Let's just take a look at the Braita. In Yeshanim behem, you don't have to sleep in them. In Utin behem, I'm not even sure what that means. What's Utin? I'm not even sure. Ve'ein ma'tilin behem, you can't walk. Ve'ein nichnasin behem b'chama b'nei hachama. Can't use it as oh my goodness, it's so hot, it's so cold, it's so rainy, I need to walk in for protection. Again, we're talking about the actual minyan davening room. Avo korim behem, v'shonim behem, v'sabim behem, hesped sharab. But you'd be allowed to learn, you'd be allowed to study, and you could do hespedim of the rabbim. Exactly what that means. And you will see situations, by the way, where you'll have funerals in the shul, right? Usually, if it's a rebbitzin, it's the rabbi. If it's a well-known person in the community, you will sometimes see a spadim done in shuls. Okay.
Is it like place that you like pray? I guess is it like this room would count because it's technically a beit midrash.
So it's actually a very decent question. Is there a difference between a beit midrash and a beit knesset? There might be a difference between them halachically. We'll see that later. What? But the Yereim will put it together. But we're going to see, interesting, if halachically, if there might be a difference between them.
Well, obviously for the food.
Well, I'll tell you why. Very good, because in a beit midrash, you might be allowed to eat. You might be allowed to sleep a little bit, because beit midrash is where you live. Whereas a beit knesset, it's not the case.
Right.
So, okay. Okay, fine. This is actually what happens. Wow. What happens if the non-Jews come and burn down your shul? Are you going to tell me that the dust and the dirt have a status of hekdesh. Not very practical, thank God, in North America. This is unfortunately very practical in other places of the world. And at times, there were times where it was quite common. So what do we look for? The Ray, and that's what Ray dealt with here. Huadin, listen to this. The matzaluk make it to sarfan goy, the love bar me'ilahu. Mikom akom shaninu, efer hekdesh aser. Hilkach, im lakach goy tit, or afar mechomot beit HaKnesset. If a non-Jew takes dirt and dust or whatever from a shul, and then he uses it, they use it for construction of the roads, which, by the way, we saw in Nazi Germany. That's exactly what they used to do. They used to destroy the shuls and use it as, whatever. Or sartut shelo yeheneh Yisrael mehen ela idei chilul. They can't. You should not try to get hana from these items. You should do chala. What should you do? You should be poded. You should say, I'm transferring the kedusha of this road that was made from the kedusha Knesset onto coins, and then those coins become hekdesh. So you can be poded the kedusha, but you got to do it. That's wow. That's the Yerayim. That just shows you how much the kedusha is chal according to him. Okay. Other opinions are not nearly going to go to such an extreme of the level of Me'ilah and making it this D'oraisa obligation. Me'ilah is to use something that was designated for the Beis Hamikdash for mundane purposes. Right, that's Me'ilah. So we're going to stop here. I'm just going to show you number 3. The first line, he says, no, what are you talking about? It's only the Rabbanan, right? In this kedusha b'teknes elim d'Rabbanan, and if it's a suffix, there's room to be mekel. So we're going to see these different tracks of kind of how we understand the kedusha and their sources and their applications will have major implications for then using them when they're destroyed, using them for other types of behaviors and what you're allowed to do. Because if it's d'oraisa, as well, you might not be able to make it tonight, right? I mean, it could be that once you use it, you can make any Torah you want. The fact that you use it, you're locked in. That perhaps with the Yerayim, there's no such thing as building things all tonight. Maybe that would be a pretty major nafkamina coming up a little bit later on. Okay, we're going to stop there for today. God willing, are we today? We'll continue.